What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the week. It's almost done. We got one more day to go. So I just wanted to say hello, check in. We got a beautiful fall day here in New England. Give you a little glimpse of what we're looking at. There goes a fisherman cruising on by, and the sun just set a minute ago. And yeah, so just soaking up this New England weather, and I have my two friends down here. That one, Oscar, hanging out with me, and then I don't know where the other one is. He's underneath the table, but so that's what we got going on. But I just wanted to jump on Facebook Live real quick. It's been a super fun fall so far. Been spending a lot of time in the water. Been paddling quite a bit, fishing quite a bit. Went to New York City. Been writing a lot, and so it's been killer, and obviously been doing a bunch of yoga as well. So one of those things that I was excited about is I had an opportunity to write a book, and I didn't write the whole book. So let me clarify, I read a chapter in a book. It's backwards because obviously I can't see your comments if I go the other way, but it's Yoga for Surfing, tips, techniques, and living the flow state. Dashima helped orchestrate a lot of that. Likes of Shiva Ray and Ian Finn, Zane Schweitzer, some really killer people that are in the book as well. And what we did is just write a bit about how yoga, surfing, and connecting with the flow state, which the flow state is that zone you get in and when you move. Hey, Rachel. And so it's really neat. And I put together a sequence in chapter 8 about my connection with the water. I obviously grew up here. Yeah, Matthew, come on. Thanks, KT. Thanks, Kim. So growing up here in this lake, you know, I had a different connection than most surfers. I didn't have the ocean and all that, and I learned about it, you know, about age 30. I was introduced to surfing at 18, which was killer, but never really took to it. You know, I probably caught about 6 waves in my life, and then at age 31, I started stand-up paddling, and that's what got me into surfing. So it was a beautiful connection, and now I still try to learn a bit more about the whole surfing aspect. And if you see the guy in the background, that's my dad. He's photobombing, watching, I don't even know what, Fox News, sadly enough. But anyways, so that was my connection, and as some of you have saw earlier, this is what we got going on. This is basically where I grew up. This is the lake that I learned how to wakeboard, water ski, fish on, and so I didn't have a saltwater connection. It was a different atmosphere, and so when I got into surfing and paddling, it was pretty eye-opening, and I was super stoked. What's up, Boosh? How are you, man? And it's just blossomed, you know, and then it got me into yoga. So I went from paddling and then straight into SUP racing and then into yoga. And then surfing. So it was a really cool progression, and obviously grateful for what it's all taught me, and I love sharing it with people, because I have so many friends that have told me, oh man, I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible, I can't learn to surf, I'm too old. And you know, we all have a story, and it's just neat to be able to look into it and say we can do it all. So that was one of the inspirations, and you know, one of the pieces of this is on how basically what wakeboarding left off was I didn't have that freedom to express and flow. And then so when we wrote this book, yoga came into it for me, and so it was pretty rad how just the flow aspect of it, you know. So even basic poses, just meditation, and then chair pose helps me into the flow state. So this thing will be launching October 1st. I'm going to plug it on the blog and put some links up on social media. But again, there's some great authors in here and some people that have written a lot of books. So I was just honored to be able to contribute a chapter, you know, and it was really just something special to be involved with. So there'll be a lot more coming out about it. I'll start doing a lot more of the yoga stuff. Yoga has been a practice in my life for 7 years now, so kind of changed my world. And you know, for those of us that are adrenaline junkies, it actually has that side of it, and then it also has the calm. So yeah, Kim, there'll be Amazon, a bunch of different places. I'll be able to have all that that stuff going on. Yeah, Matthew, that'd be great. Thank you, Eileen, appreciate it. So the whole component of it, and for those of you that grew up in central New England like me, thanks buddy. And you know, it's just one of those things where I didn't know about surfing and the waves, and obviously catch a few, you know, waves here and there, but the way that yoga and these other sports that we have, and you know, the other day I went out for a hike with the family in the woods and it was so good. Yeah, KT, I wish I could do that. You know, and that was the flow state, you know, to be able to connect with the environment and to do those things. It was pretty amazing. So yeah, that's the flow state. That's paddling for a lot of people that don't understand why I love the paddle so much, and why I love I'm trying to get Fox News out of the way. It drives me nuts. There we go, I blocked it. So paddling actually gets into the flow state, and even the fitness aspect of it, you know, going out for a 1 hour workout on the water has been something that I love to do. And it's not so much about the racing, the competitive aspect, but to get a good workout in on a body of water is surreal. I went out fishing this morning and I had the opportunity to be next to 2 loons that were singing, and then having bald eagles circling overhead. So it's all these rad things. So yeah, Kim, I see you out there charging it all the time too. And yeah, Rachel. So it's good. You know, you got to be able to utilize, and so we look at these other people and things, and we have all these flow states so close to us right here. And so that's one of the things that I got excited about, and now diving deeper into it and seeing it firsthand, and being back here. I use the Cocomat Lotus by NSP for yoga. I also use the SurfTech Lido for yoga, and we have an inflatable by NSP as well called the O2 Lotus that I've used. So they're all good. You know, honestly, for sup yoga, any board can do. So as long as you get out there in the water, you can even just sit and do some poses on a race board if you need to. So there is no specific board for sup yoga itself. But you know, having to spend the winter last year in Jupiter was an amazing experience, and being by a beach community very similar to San Clemente, where I used to live in Southern California, but totally foreign to me, like not this place. So when I came back here, obviously after spending a lot of time in the salt water, it was easy to transition into this, you know, and I love this time of the night when the sun's setting. And sorry, I had a phone call jump in there. So it's pretty amazing how this all shapes up, you know. And so just the connection and being able to see this and then translate into what we got going on. So again, some of you guys are just jumping on now. I was plugging a book I wrote a chapter in called Yoga for Surfing. So if you guys want to check it out, I'll be ready October 1st. I'll be posting a bunch of links about it. So yeah, thanks Josh. Matt, it does have that feel, the rolling green hills. So I'll give you guys a little more panorama of it. So, and then there's my favorite unicorn that we put out. But as you guys can see, there's no trees really turning right now. So it's this isn't the typical fall. I mean, it's October coming up and everything's green. I actually fished up in, thank you. I'll sign the book for you, Josh. Just you though, man. And sorry, I'm having a little trouble with my tripod. Bear with me. I'm going south, Kim. I will be heading down there November. I can't handle winters. I tried, but I can't. So I'm being a snowbird. And I'm okay with it. I've accepted it. And I'll be down in Jupiter probably like second week of November. Head back down to the Blue Line area, which is a great shop, and my really good friends run a shop down there. So I'm super stoked to be able to go back down. I paddle a lot down there, which is killer. They have a really fun Tuesday night race league, and it's not a race league, but for me and for those of you that have spent time up here in New England or even in other parts it's my men's league hockey or your adult kickball league, where we all get together and have a really fun time, and then afterwards have some really cold beer, which is super fun. So excited to go back down and do that. And obviously the fishing in Florida is phenomenal, so that's a lovely passion of mine. And there's a really big yoga community that I get to practice with, so super grateful for all that stuff, and it's going to be a good time. So yeah, but I thank you guys all for tuning in, and again, I'll be doing some more stuff on it, but it's October 1st, Yoga for Surfing, and we'll be launching more stuff on this. I'm not sure of the PR aspect of it. We might do a bit more campaigns and stuff like that, but love to be able to do some beach cleanups and might throw some impromptu things up here. So thank you guys all for tuning in, and I'll send it off on this lovely view of New England on a Thursday night. It was glassy. I paddled earlier. It's so beautiful out. The water here is still in the 60s, which is ridiculously warm for this time of the year. I paddled a lake today. The water was 66, so pretty surreal how we've had an amazingly warm summer. So grateful for the weather staying like it was. Monday it was 55 degrees out and raining, and so here we are today, back to beautiful fall temperatures. So all right, well, thank you guys all for tuning in, and yeah, we'll talk soon. Everybody have a great night, great weekend, and thanks again for everything.